Science fiction cinema is not just about space battles and robots. It's about stories that play with your mind, asking questions about who we are and where we're heading. In recent years, we've seen films that surprise with freshness, darkness, and philosophical depth. This ranking brings you movies that don't need a massive budget to blow your mind, just a spark of imagination and the courage to look at reality from a whole new angle. The endless. When you return to a place that long ago escaped your life, you may discover that time doesn't flow there as it should. The Endless from 2017 tells the story of two brothers who, years later, return to the sect where they grew up. At first, everything seems surprisingly normal. The people are nice, the atmosphere is calm, and the memories are less terrible than they remember. However, it soon comes to light that this place is governed by its own inhumane rules. Time begins to loop and reality breaks in the most disturbing way. The brothers are drawn into a mystery that transcends logic and asks the question, is it possible to escape from a trap with no end in sight? It's a film that combines thriller, sci-fi, and horror, leaving you with the impression that the cosmos can be stranger than you ever thought. Origins. Sometimes one look can change the way you see the entire universe. Origins from 2014 is an atmospheric science fiction drama about a scientist who studies human eyes, believing that it is possible to prove the purely biological origin of humans with them. Everything gets complicated when he meets the mysterious Sophie, a woman who professes a spiritual and mystical approach to life. Their relationship becomes a clash between science and faith, logic and destiny. Years later, after the tragic events have already taken place, the protagonist's research leads him to a discovery that shatters all his previous beliefs. Eyes can be more than just an organ. They can be proof of the existence of the soul and reincarnation. This is a film that leaves the viewer with a question. Can the world be explained by reason alone, or is there something that science will never touch? Synchronic. Sometimes the strangest cases have nothing to do with medicine, but with something much more incomprehensible. Synchronic from 2019 tells the story of two New Orleans paramedics who come across a series of violent and inexplicable deaths. At the center of it all is a new drug, a mysterious pill that, instead of hallucinations, sends people to completely different eras. Each dose is Russian roulette with time. You can end up in prehistory, on a battlefield, or in the middle of the desert. When the daughter of one of the characters disappears after taking the substance, there is only one option left: to try it yourself and plunge into the madness of a journey through history. The film shows that the most dangerous addiction is not to chemistry, but to the temptation to see what lies beyond the border of the present. Prospect. On an alien planet, every breath can be a deadly threat. In such a hostile world, a father and his teenage daughter try to obtain valuable minerals that could change their lives. What was supposed to be a quick profit turns into a nightmare when other prospectors appear, greedy, brutal, and equally determined. The struggle for raw materials turns into a fight for survival, where trust is a luxury and betrayal is only a matter of time. The poisonous air, constant fear, and loneliness make every step a dramatic choice. Prospect shows that the greatest danger is not always alien worlds, but people who can be more merciless than the cosmos itself. Under the skin. When a beautiful stranger stops you on the street, you don't suspect that she might be hiding something inhuman. Under the Skin is a hypnotic sci-fi thriller in which Scarlett Johansson plays an alien who takes on human form. She lures men into her van and then leads them to a place where reality turns into an abstract nightmare. Bodies disappear and souls seem to be consumed by a black abyss. The film balances between experiment and horror, showing the strangeness of the world as seen through the eyes of someone who pretends to be human, but begins to experience human emotions himself. It's cinema that mesmerizes more than it explains, leaving the viewer with the question, who really is the monster, her or ourselves. Coherence. Dinner with friends was supposed to be just a chance to talk and have a glass of wine. However, the passage of a comet over the city turns everything into a surreal nightmare. The electricity disappears, strange disturbances appear, and a house can be seen on the street, identical to the one in which the protagonists are just sitting. It soon turns out that they are staying inside, alternative versions that begin to enter into a dangerous game with each other. Suspicion, paranoia, and fear grow with each passing minute, and the boundaries between realities fall apart. Coherence is a minimalist but extremely intense sci-fi thriller that shows that the greatest danger doesn't always come from outer space, but may lie in our own reflection. Duel. What would you do if you could create your own copy to avoid suffering and loneliness? In the movie Duel, we meet a woman who learns of an incurable disease and decides to clone herself so that her loved ones don't have to suffer after her death. The problem arises when she suddenly recovers, and her clone doesn't intend to leave. A fight begins between the two versions over which one has the right to live a real life. The chilling atmosphere, absurdist humor, and dark vision of the future here create a disturbing picture of a world where technology collides with the deepest fears about identity and place in society. The innocence. During a summer vacation on a quiet Norwegian estate, a group of children discover powers in themselves that no child should have. At first, it looks like fun. Small tricks, secrets hidden from adults, innocent experiments that just seem like a fascinating adventure. But with each passing moment, their abilities become stronger, and the lines between fun and cruelty begin to blur. Telekinesis, control over others, and even the infliction of pain become tools with which the children try to dominate each other. There are no heroes in this world, only those who want to survive and prove their superiority. Adults are left in blind ignorance, while a dark war is brewing among the youngest. The Innocence is an engrossing and disturbing thriller that exposes how thin the line is between childlike innocence and terrifying brutality. Something in the dirt. What would you do if things suddenly started happening in your apartment that can't be explained? Two neighbors in a decrepit Los Angeles apartment building witness inexplicable phenomena: floating objects, strange light, and a space that looks like a portal to another dimension. Instead of running away, they decide to record everything with a camera, believing that this is their chance for money and fame. Over time, however, filming turns into an obsession, and their relationship increasingly cracks under the weight of paranoia and suspicion. The line between discovery and madness begins to blur, and each successive experiment leads them deeper into a nightmare that can no longer be stopped. Something in the Dirt is a dark and disturbing thriller that shows how thin the line is between the search for truth and total perdition. Seobok. Would humanity be ready for eternal life if it suddenly became possible? In the film Seobok, we meet a former agent who gets one last assignment. He is to escort a boy created in a laboratory. This boy, however, is not ordinary. He is the world's first clone, possessing the secret of immortality written in his DNA. To many, he represents a miracle of science. To others, a threat that must be eliminated at all costs. A bond is born between them as they travel, but each step forward is a flight from governments, corporations, and people willing to kill to gain power over life and death. The story becomes a drama about trust, loneliness, and whether humans should strive for eternity at all. Seobok blends action cinema, science fiction, and poignant reflection, leaving the question: is immortality a gift or a curse? As you can see, modern sci-fi has no limits. It can be intimate, dark, philosophical, and as gripping as the best thrillers. Which of these movies impressed you the most? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoy rankings like this, don't forget to subscribe. The best is yet to come.